The fashion outlet is featuring crew neck and turtleneck sweaters at $9.99, regularly $18. Plus, they will monogram up to 3 letters free with any sweater purchase. Only at Fashion Outlet.
Bicycle racers in Indianapolis were making swift tracks today at Brookside Park. Today's event tops off 3 days of competition. Channel 8 photographer Bill Fisher and reporter Calvin O'Neill present this view of the sport.
Hundreds of bike enthusiasts from around the country turned out for a day of racing at Indianapolis's Brookside Park. The 10-speed bikers raced in several heats, ranging from 2 to 50 times around the park's mile track. The race is sponsored by the Speedway Wheelman Bike Club, and unlike other amateur sports, these riders take home cash prizes, as did Ted Powers of Carbondale, Illinois, when he won the Senior 4 class race.
Cycling is an expensive game. You know, a tire will cost generally around $50, and tires blow easy, and you know, once it's flat, it's not good for anything else. And it costs, you know, traveling is expensive. You've got to eat. You got to eat to stay strong. You got to stay strong to race. So it's just part of the game.
Powers admit that the money is appreciated, but the real incentive behind traveling from state to state, bike racing, is competition.
The real enjoyment is winning. The real enjoyment is being the top of the field that day, you know, and eventually being the top of your category, your top of the class, and maybe eventually top of the nation.
Calvin O'Neill, Channel 8 News, on the scene, Brookside Park.
More sports with Dick Ray right after this break.
Throughout history, we've looked to the stars as a constant, dependable guide for our travels. Indiana National is more down to earth, but no less dependable as a guide to your financial security. Trust Indiana National. Financial services change constantly. Our values never do. Indiana National, pioneers in banking.
The Newbury Park Optometric Center tells us that if it weren't for their ad in the GTE Yellow Pages, they wouldn't have about 70% of their business. So, like Newbury Park Optometric, why don't you take a nice big ad in the GTE Yellow Pages and watch your business grow.
Heinz has been making pickles for over 100 years now. And sometimes it takes the best of the old to make the best of the new. Heinz Old-Fashioned Pickles. A pickle for today that's old-fashioned crisp, old-fashioned crunchy, and tastes so darn old-fashioned good. They're the best old-fashioned pickles Heinz has ever made. Heinz, for your serious pickle lover.
We think of you. We think you'll understand when you see what we will do.
Purchasing an automobile is a personal experience, and at Lockhart Cadillac, we care. Satisfied customers are our main concern. We feel it's our courteous personal service that makes people return again and again.
Only at Lockhart Cadillac, we think of you.
The Chicago Cubs had a chance to move out of last place today. Did they make it?
Well, they played the Mets, the two worst teams in baseball, and believe it or not, they stayed exactly where they were when they entered the game. The Chicago Cubs and New York Mets squared at Shea to find out who deserves to be in the National League East cellar. Yesterday, New York's Ellis Valentine said the Mets were the worst organization in baseball. Well, we'll let you decide. Met manager George Bamberger quickly found a replacement for Valentine, Mike Jorgensen, who hits this long one to Jay Johnstone. Johnstone can't get the glove on it. It ricochets off the wall. It turns out to be a triple for Jorgensen. He will score on a sacrifice to make it 1-0 New York. Things not right for the Cubs here in the first of 2 games today. Jody Davis throws the pickoff play. It gets away. Mookie Wilson comes home. It's 3-2 Mets after 3 innings. The Cubs in the 8th with a chance, but Keith Moreland's long drive out to left center is stabbed by George Foster. Tremendous grab. Mets win the first one 5-4. And the second game, the Cubs split the doubleheader. The Cubs stay in last by just a game. In other baseball today, Tom Seaver had to leave the game. His right shoulder is still hurting him. The Astros win again over the Reds. San Francisco is now 4 games out of first in the West. Reggie Smith, 3 hits in the winning cause for the Giants today. Atlanta is now a game and a half out as they lose in 10 innings to San Diego. Dale Murphy lost a fly ball in the sun, costing the Braves the game and the winning run. A big day for St. Louis and Pittsburgh. In the first, Keith Hernandez with the inside-out swing that got Tom Herr and Lonnie Smith home. A 2-0 lead Cardinals over the Expos. Now, top of the third, it's Hernandez again to opposite field to Mike Easler. He misplays the ball out in left. It turns out to be a triple. Smith scores, and the Cards win the first 12-5, come back to win the second game 5-2. At Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Mike Schmidt was the hero as the Phils stay a game behind St. Louis. The bad throw from Trio past Rose. Al Oliver scores for the Expos there. Then Mike Schmidt, the game winner, 2 out in the 9th, a 2-run homer to right field. Philadelphia wins the game over the Expos 3-1. In the American League today, Kansas City now in first place in the AL West, a 6-1 win over Detroit. Boston got all of their runs today. In the 7th inning, they sent 14 batters to the plate as they really trounce all over Baltimore. Todd Cruz with a grand slam today as Seattle beats Minnesota by 8 runs. Toronto squeaks past Milwaukee 3-2. California was bumped out of first in the AL West as the A's win 3-2, and they're in the 7th inning, Cleveland with a 6-3 advantage. At Comiskey Park in Chicago today, the New York Yankees take a 3-1 lead over the White Sox as Lou Piniella singles in Lee Mazzilli, recently acquired from Texas. Sox get a run back, though. Vance Law hits off the glove of Roy Smalley at short. Fisk scores, making it 3-2 Yanks. Yankees get back to run on Mazzilli's single to right center. That brings in Rick Cerrone. But in the 8th, the White Sox got to Goose Gossage. Greg Luzinski's infield hit after 2 walks. After 2 walks, gets in a run for the Chicago White Sox. Steve Kemp rips a long double to the wall in left center. 2-run score. It's now a 5-4 Chicago lead. And Carlton Fisk will put the icing on the cake as the White Sox win this one 6-4. Here's the hit by Carlton Fisk. And the White Sox still in contention out in the American League West. And in AAA ball tonight, Evansville gives the Indians their first loss in 6 games. The losing pitcher tonight is Bill Shear. Clint Hurdle, a 2-run single for the Indians in the losing effort. Gordon Johncock was able to overcome brake problems to lead the Pocono 500 on several occasions, but he was not able to overcome a bad gearbox, and Rick Mears in his quest to grab IndyCar Racing's Triple Crown. Let's look at the standings today. It's Rick Mears walking away. His average speed there just close to 146 miles an hour. He beat Kevin Cogan by 2 seconds. And of course, Ray Hall, who won that Cleveland 500 road race, finishes strong, as well as another road racer who finished 4th, Jeff Brabham, Tony Bittenhausen, and Gordon Johncock, who went out after a gearbox problem with 7 laps to go, finishes up in 6th. Gary Bettenhausen, the older brother, is in 8th. Johnny Parsons in 7th. Roger Mears, the brother of the winner, finishes 9th. Johnny Rutherford was involved in a very bad accident in turn 2. He was able to walk away from that accident, came out of it only with a broken hand. Mario Andretti in 14th, out again with gearbox problems. 2 problems today for the Patrick cars. Elio De Angelis of Italy holds a strong challenge from Kiki Rosberg. He wins the Austrian Grand Prix. For De Angelis, his first victory on the Formula One circuit. And there were more surprises in tennis. Yesterday at the Canadian Open, Jimmy Connors was forced to withdraw because of injuries. Today, Yvonne Lindell upset Vitas Gerulaitis. I should say Gerulaitis upset Lindell. Gerulaitis has now beaten Lindell 3 of their 5 meetings. Here in the 3rd set, it's Gerulaitis serving, and he makes a strong charge at the net, a beautiful cross-court volley. Now let's look at match point for Gerulaitis. This time it's Lindell serving. Lindell, of course, had to beat John McEnroe yesterday. Gerulaitis drew a bye. He had to sit it out because Connors was injured. He wins 4-6, 6-1, 6-3. Beth Daniel wins the $125,000 LPGA golf tournament in Jericho, New York. She shot 1 over today. Speedway Indiana Sandra Spuzitz finished 7th, 12 strokes off the pace. The scores were much lower at the Greater Hartford Open, particularly for Tom Norris. Norris owned the tournament from start to finish, a 66 today, finishing 25 under par, 259, a tournament record. This is his tee at 17. It gets real close to the cup there on the green. Defending champion Hubie Green played well enough to win, 19 under for the tournament. His approaching shot here on 18, almost an identical shot there, but he was no match today for Norris. He tied for second. Ray Floyd and Hubie Green tied for second. and Norris takes home $54,000. The Pacers are involved in that championship game in the Summer League, and they are tied with about 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Terrific. Thank you, Dick. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm Brewster. I was the best salesman I ever had.
Great. I've got my own company and sales are really climbing.
Want to guess how?
Since Bell repriced 800 service for small businesses, we've opened new markets all over. They see our toll-free number, they call, and we've got a new customer.
Sound familiar?
As part of our telemarketing program, 800 service brings down the cost of selling.
Taught him everything he knows. I can.
Bell 800 service. It's another way to get things done today. Arby's Country Fresh Salad Bar is like a trip to the farmer's market.
2 lettuce, bacon, tomatoes at Arby's.
Carrots, cheese, cucumbers at Arby's.
Eggs, pickles, beets at Arby's.
Onions, croutons, peppers at Arby's.
6 great salad dressings at Arby's.
Don't be shy. Create your own mouth-watering salad.
Fresh and delicious.
Arby's Country Fresh Salad Bar. It's like a trip to the farmer's market.
Hot day, cold beer, and good times. That's what it's all about.
And finally tonight, when the Sharpless family holds a reunion, they hold a reunion. 600 members of the family gathered in Chester, Pennsylvania to celebrate their 300th yearly gathering. Here, the youngest member of the family, 10-month-old Brett, stands by while Dad sets up for the family portrait. Young Brett doesn't seem much interested in reunions. Judging from his headgear, baseball is his bag. That wraps it up for us this weekend. Thanks for watching. For Maureen, Tighe, and Dick Ray, I'm Trudy Yarnell. Have a great week.